really powerful all-encompassing statement?
So, 8 years ago, I joined Zimmer, and actually 9 years ago, if you believe it or not, I was an employee of Stryker. I was sitting in the executive boardroom in Warsaw, and I was waiting to have an interview with the CFO. And I waited for about 2 hours in the boardroom, and he never showed up to interview me. And then his assistant showed up and said, "Mr. Lino's not going to be able to meet with you." So I left that boardroom and I said, "Guess I didn't get the job." Walked down into my car, turned on my BlackBerry. First message that pops up: Zimmer's been served by the DPA. So, employee of
Sorry, who's the DPA?
Deferred Prosecution Agreement. So that was, remember when it all started, that was the day it all started. I was a Stryker employee sitting in the executive boardroom at Zimmer when it happened. So, needless to say, my interview got rescheduled and I ended up here. But that was the start of change. Before that day, we would never imagine the world we live in today. So fast forward from that, about 5 years ago, the distributors, Jamie and I, and some other people sat in a room and we said, the market is changing. We had lost a lot of market share during the DPA because we were the first company to institute a compliance program, and none of our competitors did. And we thought the world was over. Bit by bit, all of our key consultants were leaving us, business was going down, and we had negative revenue growth for the first time. We sat down and we said, no, we're not going to be defeated, we're going to change the model. And we started thinking about not only the surgeons, but the administrators, and the buying groups, and the health authorities. And we started engaging those people in conversations, and we started understanding what their pain points were, and where the market was leading. And when Stryker and J&J and the rest of them were so focused on product and the surgeon making the decision, we weren't. And we got ahead of the game. And it took us a while to get going, and it took us a while to change the game. But we arrived when we won Saskatchewan. And since we've won Saskatchewan, we've been steamrolling across the country. But now, everybody knows the game. And everybody is trying to replicate what we created. And as leaders, and with the market share that we have, and the market share that we're going to have once we integrate with Biomed, we need to make the cost of change not 5%, as it was stated in the Ottawa RFP. We need to make the cost of change so large, because we provide a level of service that is so great that it doesn't matter what price our competitors come in with. The cost of change is just too high. So when you're looking at servicing your customers, you got to look at more and different than what you do today. We all have to look at more and different than what we're doing today. We have conversations about back orders all the time, and a lot of times it's because the volume at that hospital has increased. Well, we know that. So why haven't we done the review, the consignment review, before the hospital does the consignment review? Why haven't we anticipated that before the hospital has come to us and said, you need to look at this? So how do we make the life of the administrators, the life of the surgeons, the life of the hospital easier? How do we get ahead of that curve so we know what they want before they know they need it? So that is our challenge in 2015, because 2016 and 2017 is when we start to get back into the second round of RFPs with Monterey, with BC, with Saskatchewan, with all these hospitals that we've gone through the process the first time. Are going to come around again, and we need to be different. So I'll close off with my favorite saying, comes from Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. And we've got great power with the leadership and the market share that we have. Now we owe a responsibility to the citizens of Canada, to the government, to the hospitals, and to ourselves to be better.
Now, that's a story.